Shalom, Yashrala. It's your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth and ever will. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article. It says Extinction Rebellion activists chain themselves to the gates of French Parliament and protest at scope of new climate bill. All right, and you know there's multiple different protests going on around the globe right now over multiple different things, man. All right, if there's a topic you can think about, there's a protest over that, man. I was listening to the radio earlier today, and I mean I caught only a portion of what exactly they was talking about, but it was going into like these Disney movies and things like that, where it was like I don't know which one of the movies they was talking about. Maybe it was like Snow White or something like that, and the Seven Doors or some shit like that. One of them, anyway. The problem was that the princess had to be saved by being kissed by some dude, right? And she would wake up from her little spell. It might have been Sleeping Beauty or some shit, right? And these people, the so-called woke folks, they was all in uprage about that, and they're protesting these things. You got the cancel culture that's going around. Motherfuckers is mad at the Mr. Potato Head because it's a Mr. Potato Head. I'm like, y'all do know that there is a Mrs. Potato Head too, right? Like, what the hell what are we really talking about here, man? All right, you have these groups that are upset about how some of these female characters in video games are hypersexualized and dressed like that. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? But when you give these same ass women their freedoms and shit, they want to walk around butt ass fucking naked out. Hey, go to don't even go downtown in your neighborhood. Go to the most countryest place you can find in your whole state and go inside the grocery store, man. Go inside the library, man. Go inside the schools. We ain't talking about the clubs. Guarantee you're gonna see these half naked or how you call them yoga pants women where their whole bodies and stuff is being revealed. But then you got these same women complaining about, the women is hypersexualized in the video games and things like that. But so you got people arguing about all kinds of different things, left and right, left and right, left and right. The lockdown things, the anti-masker type things, with the Capitol building riots over Donald Trump. You still got motherfuckers rioting over Donald Trump right now, man. All right, Black Lives Matter. You got that type of shit still going on. Well, not really. You have the, it's a little bit dubbed different. Jake keep getting shot down and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Over these, the court cases, more or less to say. You have these things going on still as well, man. All right. So you have all these different protests going on around the globe over a lot of different things. It's just coming out the woodwork. Seems like from here to there to here to there. Seems like people are being offended on every side, man. All right. So this is causing these uproars of the people, man, all over the globe. And this is of biblical proportion, man. Like I said, when you have, we're just using a general example. How the hell you got these women that's complaining about the women in video? First of all, they're like, oh, women are underrepresented in the video games. And they're like, well, most men play video games. Not a lot of women play video games like that. Not saying women don't play video games, but it's not like when they go to the store, they're like, look, how like you got to go to the store, you buy alcohol, and they ask you for your ID, and you have to be over 21 to buy alcohol, right? There ain't nobody in the damn video game store saying, look, these games are only for guys. Women can't buy these games. So we're going to limit the amount of women that buy video games. The women have their own freedom, their own money to go buy whatever the hell they want to go buy with their money, man. All right? Just like ain't nobody really stopping guys from buying Barbie dolls to play with them. If they got the money for it and they want to go do that shit, that's on them. That's just, But nevertheless, you got these women that's, oh, well, how come it's not, more suited for women? Or how come there ain't that many trans characters in this here video game? Or, you may have something like a comic book that goes way back with certain characters that was in there. Oh, how come none of the Avengers were trans or gay or disabled and everything like that? I'm like, well, wait a minute. That wasn't in the storyline. You know what I'm saying? This is just what it was. But hey, this is the type of society we living in now where people are just arguing over dumb shit now, man. All right. Let me read through a little bit of this real quick. Oh, let me read the first one. It says a dozen of activists from the Extinction Rebellion ecological activism group chained themselves to the gates of the France National Assembly in Paris ahead of the approved new climate legislation on Tuesday. All right, let me jump down a little bit. So, not so long in the article or video. It says, hold up. Let me read from here. It says, flares were set off by some protesters chained to the gate and others gathered below while braziers were also lit. All right. It says, in footage shared online, police officers could be seen stamping out fires and dragging protesters away. Some journalists were also reportedly pushed back by police. It says members of the National Assembly were also reported to have attended the demonstrations, including left-wing lawmaker Adrian Quintenes, who was filmed talking to police, and draft legislation approved on Tuesday at first reading, but still needs the backing of the Senate. It will then go back to the lower house, where it will likely to receive assent by President Emmanuel Macron and centrist majority. The bill includes a ban on short-haul domestic flights that could be taken by train, curbs on landlords renting out poorly insulated properties, and prohibition of outdoor heaters on restaurant terraces. Like, and really, like, you worried about, like, you see those little restaurants outside where it might be cold and they had like the little torches out there or whatever to keep people warm. I'm like, you worried about those little bit of gases that's coming off? What about these big ass factories that's pumping out this shit day in and day out, man? All right, don't nobody want to talk about that. And not to mention, if a volcano go off, it pollutes the air way more than all the vehicles, all the machinery we got. Like, you know what I'm saying, within an hour, like, yo, that shit didn't polluted the air 100 times more than all the shit that we didn't created with, like, over, like, let's just say the last 100 years of running all the cars, all the machines and everything like that. Volcano go off, that shit put way more pollutants in the air within an hour than what we did in, like, the last 100 years, man. All right, so what are we really talking about here? It says, now, we ain't dealing with the plastics. That's completely different. I'm just talking about these exhausts and things like that. All right, they talking about all the cows are polluting more than the cars and stuff. Like, really, nigga? It says other proposed measures include forcing state-run schools to offer meat-free menus. Like, what the hell that got to do with, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, this is what they doing. Vetoing the construction of new airports and clamping down on the use of plastics in supermarket packaging. All right? Yeah, but nevertheless, the point is that I wanted to grab was the fact that these people are out here just bugging out. And you have all these different so-called activist groups over all kind of different things. Like I said, they crabbing over, or I probably can't even say that. They over here tripping over the fact of they ain't no, like, you call it Mr. Potato Head when you got a Mrs. Potato Head. You know what I'm saying? You just have all these so-called woke folks out here that don't understand nothing, you know? The natural affection of everything is just gone, man. All right? Let me come back to that. I mean, you say it there as well, too, but... okay, here it is. We start at verse Matthew 24 and verse 8. Well, let me start at verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, what shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming into the world? So we can tell you about measuring the times diligently. And how do we tell you about measuring the time diligently? By reading and understanding the prophecies. All right, and then we seen all these things speaking loud and clear, like the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3 say, man. All right, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. You've always had so-called riots and protests. You know, when Jake back in the, what was it, 60s, 70s was out there marching and stuff like that, you know, that was, you know, so-called uprisings and things like that, but it wasn't on the level like how it is now, man. All right, I remember, I forgot what it was, the George Floyd situation. You had literally, now this was all funded by Esau and George Soros anyway, but you had Black Lives Matter protests going on around the whole globe. All right, I remember watching the news and the headlines, they were showing Black Lives Matter in other countries. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? But, hey, this is all a biblical proportion, man. The signs are right. The writing is on the wall, man. The elephant is in the room. The elephant is in the room, blowing his little trunk and everything like that, shaking back and forth. Took a big-ass pile of shit in there, stamping it around. You can smell it. You can see it. You can hear it. But yet these people are blind out here, man. They don't understand what the hell is going on, man. All right? Because why? They keep listening to their enemy. They're so, how do I say, brainwashed and occupied with just the bread and circuses that they're given day in and day out. They don't think anything's going wrong right now because they get stimulus checks, man. All right, they ain't got to really work right now, man. They got all kind of different things going on, man. They can just sit at home and just watch this folly all damn day on the internet. But yet and still, the real news and the real truth is also on the internet. But they don't hear none of those things, man. All right, but then, you know, like Yahushua say, hey, if I wouldn't come, there would be they would have a cloak for their sins. But now that I come, there ain't no cloak for their sins. But look, our people say, look, don't prophesy unto us the right things, prophesy unto us smooth things, man. We don't want to hear all that shit, man. Keep the Lord and all that shit away from me, bro. We don't want to hear about the Lord about to come and destroy some people. We want to hear about the Lord loving everybody, want to see us living our best life. The Lord want my daughter to go out there and sell her body as much as she want and twerk it all out and be. If that was what make her happy, I think the Lord would want her to do that. The Lord wouldn't want her to sit there and save her body for one man. What kind of God would do that? But see, that's what our people, that's the mindsets of our people. So they wouldn't really see the impending danger, man. But when their daughter gets trafficked off into a sex trafficking ring, or get kidnapped and sold all around the block, and she got some STDs or whatever, get pregnant by multiple dudes, or they just kill her ass off or some shit like that, they be like, oh, pray for my daughter. She was just such a good girl. But nah, bro. Nah. You got your young sons out here listening to all this stupid ass hip hop and everything like that, going around gang banging and killing and toting Dracos and getting shot down by the police and drinking lean. Then you want to say he was such a good kid and pray for my son. Let's have a march for him. Nah, man. Y'all ain't want to listen to the Lord, man. Y'all say keep that far from me, man. All right. Going back to this, it says, Matthew 24:3. What are the signs, right? So let's jump down to verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you should be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Going into the minute of the Lord is out here telling you, like I was just explaining, telling you what the Lord wants, but people don't want to hear all that, right? But let me keep reading. Verse 10, all right, because this is the time and the culture that we live in right now, man. And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another, man. When you got people mad over a Mr. Potato Head, bro, and there's a Mrs. Potato Head, you know what I'm saying? Or women being over sexualized in video games and animes and things like that, wearing so-called skimpy outfits or bikinis and things like that, you know what I'm saying? Or tight clothing like that. But then the same women that's complaining about that don't even buy video games, don't even play video games, right? But then they walk around dressed just like the chick in the video game in real life, and is begging and dying for that freedom to be able to do that, man. And if you say something wrong to her, something wrong with your ass, man. All right? But see, this is because they offended by everything, man. All right? It's a so-called super quote-unquote woke culture, man. All right? You can't call things for what they really are, man. If somebody's out there, if somebody lying on you, you can't just call them out for being a liar, man. All right, you be like, yo, nah, man, you just changed your sex parts and this and that. This is what you are. Nah, I'm actually this. I was born this way because no, man. This is what it is, man. All right, we're not gonna get there. It says, then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. All right, and this is what it's coming to. Let me jump down to verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, and so now you're starting to see these people that are so-called. Well, let me get there real quick before I explain all that. Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Right? So look, the stress upon nations with perplexity. All right, and you got just everybody out here protesting and uprisings and so on and so forth, man. The uproars of the people, man. All right, men's hearts failing them for the fear. And also going into these things, hang on, let me go up, what verse was it? Luke 21 and verse 16, and you should be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, right? Let me go up a little bit more. Verse 12, but before all these, they shall lay their hands upon you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So if you're not with their agenda with these things, if you don't believe in that, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old should be able to make a choice about them having a sex change or whatever, whatnot, you're the problem. We got to get rid of you, Or, hey, they got the shit now, like, yo, if you got relatives or something like that, and they not with this medical procedure, or if you think that they're unstable mentally because they believe in quote-unquote conspiracy theories, which they deem as conspiracy theories and the prophets of doom and things like that, call us on this phone line and we'll come and get them or whatever, whatnot. If they got guns, we'll come and get them. So you're going to be betrayed by your relatives because, hey, they don't understand these things, what's really going on, man. They think this is just a new wave and a new society and certain things like that, man. All right, you'll have somebody that's like, in this truth, let's say they're a young man in this truth, maybe 18 or 19 years old, coming into this truth, and they woke up to this, but then their parents may be 35, 45, something like that, of age. They understand certain things. They understand that a 5-year-old shouldn't be left home alone and have to fend for himself and to cook for himself and fry his own chicken and shit like that, because this nigga can't be responsible enough not to burn down a house and kill himself, right? But yet and still, he can go get a sex change. He's responsible to go get a sex change. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't let your 5-year-old child, y'all about to go on a road trip. You wouldn't let your 5-year-old child get behind the wheel and start driving your ass down the interstate now, would you? Right? You wouldn't let this 5-year-old child go get a pistol and goddamn go out and just roll around freely with it, man. They talking about how these criminals that ain't trained in this and that shouldn't have weapons because they don't know how to use them and everything like that. But how much more a little 5-year-old, man? But he got the right, if you as a parent think that he ain't on par with where he needs to be able to get his anatomy changed, something wrong with you, man. All right, and if you ain't with the cancel culture of these certain things or whatever these people are uprising about, if you're a so-called black person, you're not with the so-called Black Lives Matter movement the way they have it presented and things like that, then you're the problem. I'm like, wait a minute, but they're pushing for the destruction of basically the family and things like that, man. All right, we're not for the destruction of our family. We want to see our husbands and our wives together with their children in the same household, man. All right, we want to see our families together, man. All right, but hey, according to the Black Lives Matter, no, we don't want to see that. I forgot how they call it, the basic core family together and things like that, man. All right, but you have these people that are both sides, which is all being funded by the government anyway, uprising about these things, climate control, man. All right, wearing masks, the lockdowns, Mr. Potato Head, the girls in the video games and things like this, man. You got all kind of goddamn protests. You can't even come up, like some of them, like, y'all really out there protesting over this shit, man? All right, you got these women that's out there. It's like, it's our body. We want to do whatever we want to go do. And we need to stop having men over-sexualize us and think of us as sex objects. And how do they protest? They walk down the street butt-ass naked, man. You see what I'm saying? But this is where we at right now. This is what we dealing with right now, man. All right, but hey, it's going to get even worse than that, man. Because, they have these people that are, these lawmakers that are enacting certain laws, like with the shutdowns of everything, right, the economic shutdown and wearing these masks and, oh, we want Donald Trump to be in office and they didn't rig the election. What is that going to lead to, man? All right, what are we looking at in these protests where they coming out there with the tear gas and everything like that? I forgot where it was, China or somewhere where they had, they started basically shooting down these drones with these laser pointers. They banded together with a bunch of these laser pointers that kept shining in the damn, the camera of this thing, and the shit wound up falling out the sky and everything. So they battling it out over all kind of different shit, man. Like I said, over all kind of different shit. They want raises, they want cleaner water, they want everything, man. Everything under the sun that anybody can complain about, that's what the hell they complaining about, man. All right, it wouldn't surprise me if next week, you got a Twitter protest because these motherfuckers ain't getting enough likes on they Twitters, man. All right, so look, this is a biblical proportion where people are sitting over here rioting and protesting over all the wrong things, except for the goddamn, they even uprising over the tyranny of these governments, man. They don't like these people that's over top of them, man. But then again, they're being misled by these same people that's giving them these thought process, man. Hey, a 5-year-old should be able to change, do whatever you want to go and do and everything like this. It's a woman's choice to be able to dress up however she want to dress and her body to do whatever with her body that she want to do. But if don't no man want to marry her and put, and treat her like an actual woman and a wife, and just want to treat her like, the little prostitutes that they are down on the block. Just like, you see the prostitutes walking up and down the block. They advertise their body, but what man is going over there trying to wife that up, man? He's like, I'm going to just use you for what your purpose is. But then now these women's complaining they can't find them a good man. I'm like, well, that was your fault, man. We didn't put the gun in your head. We was fighting against those things, man. All right? But, Let me read verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest anytime your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and the cares of this life, so that they come upon you unawares. And that's what a lot of our people are getting caught up into these things. They just running down there like, with the Black Lives Matter. Yeah, that sound right. That sound good. This is that. Like, yeah, your ass go down there if you want to. Like, look at the Hong Kong protests and what these people are doing. They got the shit so down packed where they know how to go out there undercover because they like, look, we don't want to get extradited to mainland China for doing these things because you got two different types of rulership over there. You basically had the old British rule in Hong Kong, right? Then you got like the communist rule in mainland China, right? So like in mainland China, you can't do all that shit, man. Your ass get put to death or you go to jail, right? And they like, well, look, we got to put these masks on and use these different secretive like apps and things to communicate and everything like that to be able to do all these things, man. All right, so we don't get caught up. But then you have Jake nowadays and all these different people that are like, yeah, we just want to be a part of this here movement, go down. Because like, when you seen the Black Lives Matter protests, right, the majority of the people was Edomites out there. But the Jakes that you did see out there, besides them simping ass, low level ass niggas that was out there trying to pick up those little busted ass Edomite bitches that was out there, right? You did have a couple Jakes that was out there though, but they was out there with their cell phones just to go goddamn get the Instagram photo op, you know what I'm saying, and the Snapchat photo op, be like, hey, we out here, we live. That's all Jake was out there for. They wasn't really into all those other things, so they getting caught up into these things too. But then now your ass is on one of these little lists, man. your ass on these different things. So when they start kicking in doors, just like them niggas in the Capitol riot building, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of them motherfuckers was out there for the little Snapchat and Instagram photo op and everything like that. And it was like, all right, we're gonna wait for you niggas to go home, post the shit up, then we're gonna come get your ass. There was a dude from like the city where I live at. He was a stay-at-home dad. His wife used to work in the hospital and everything like that. This was the nigga that went up there and stole the podium, right? Flew way the fuck out there to go over there and storm the Capitol building because he wanted that photo op, right? And everybody remember him as the dude who stole the podium or the broken podium. Guess what? They found out about him, where he was from and everything like that, blasted his ass, came and arrested his ass, right? Then his wife lost her job, and he was a stay-at-home dad, so he ain't even had no job. His wife was taking care of him. But guess what? Now his wife can't get no goddamn job because they all know who these people are, man. You getting caught up into all this bullshit because you want to be partaking in this massive, quote-unquote, rallying and rioting and things like this, man. All right? But wait till they start bringing out that military equipment on your ass, man, and start laying you niggas down, man. Because that's what it's going to ultimately come to, man. All right? You know, this is giving birth to this, how you say, this massive police state, because people are just rioting and protesting for every reason there is under the sun right now, man. We got to bring them out. It says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and the cares of this life, so that the day come upon you unawares. For as a snare it shall come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. All right? And so look, man, this is what's coming upon these people. They think that they're fighting in this revolution. They're part of the change and everything. We're going to be a part of history. Yeah, you're going to be a part of history. Them niggas that the government came down and martial lawed your ass with, man. All right, that's the part of history you're going to be a part of, man. All right? And we're going to get there and we're going to close out in 2nd Ezra 15, starting at verse 14. All right, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Like we was just reading. Look, man, don't get caught up out there with all these people that's out here rioting and protesting and all these different things and not really, you know, some of them is out there actually doing all those things, but then you got the Asian provocateurs that's out there that's actually causing the damage, bringing the hammer down on everybody. But then you get caught up because you was out there, man. All it takes is, you know, for Jake to be out there to be protesting, just actually just out there just marching down the street with their little signs, and then the government or what they call paid actors or paid protesters to go out there, agitators to go out there. All you need is about 5 of them to start breaking some windows or whatever, whatnot. And then all of a sudden, you got the, hey, look, we put it on the news and the media. Now we're going to bring in these troops and we're going to just mow down the whole crowd, man. All right. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right. And that, hey, ultimately, this is what things are going to start falling out to from the how do you say, the breakdown of society and everything like that, man. All right, the collapse of the economic things going on, when people just want their you know, when people lose everything, they lose, you know, when people lose all that they have, they lose everything, man. They just want to lose it and just going ham, man. All right. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. You know, they got more guns in America than they got people. All right. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. All right. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So going back into the Capitol riot, you know, hey, that was how do I say, a clear sign of the things to come, man. All right, that was all over just Donald Trump and the elections and things like that. How much more when you ain't got no food, or people getting tired of being locked down, or the jobs ain't coming back and things like that, man. Or people just want to be so-called free, and, you know, whatever the new thing is coming around the corner, man, and they just pump your brain up with to tell you you're supposed to have this here right to do all these things, knowing that it's going to cause this here divide, man. Problem, reaction, solution. The solution is they want to put all you niggas into a police state and clamp down on your ass and have that rule over you. But they need to create a problem first to make it seem like you're the problem and you're out of order, so that the other people could ask for some kind of safety. The solution, hey, man, you got these people out here just going ham and all kind of crazy shit going on. I know y'all ain't going to let them just go do all these things, man. All right, you know, we got to defund the police because they don't know how to handle the problem. So if you ain't got the police out there because you defunded them because they don't know how to use their training properly and stop killing everybody randomly, we got to call in the military, man. We got to call in these foreign troops, man. All right. Then when they see that, hey, man, these Americans ain't gonna want to give up their guns like they saying. We got these mass shooting problems out here, which is an Edomite problem. You know, they live by the sword. That's on them, man. All right. But look, when they keep crying out for those things, they're like, look, man, we got to get rid of all these guns. We got to get rid of all these guns. But who do you think is going to be clashing with that when the military start coming and try to take away your guns, man? They mainly taking them from Esau anyway. All right, they got the most documented guns anyway. They going to come and try to take them from Esau, man. All right, you know, and then when they do, because Jake ain't no problem taking no guns from them. They can leave Jake with all their damn guns and all their bullets. These niggas, they got an AK with 2 goddamn clips, man, and they only one of them clips got bullets in it. This nigga only got 30 shots, man. And he a bad shot, so he ain't really hitting shit anyway, man. All right? But nevertheless, Esau and them, that's the ones you got to worry about. So when you hear all these Edomites say, hey, man, they going to have to pry my gun from my cold, dead hands, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to come and take them, man. So what do you think is going to happen, man? All right? For their sword and destruction draweth nigh, one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right? Because look, they want to, how do I say? They want to have their so-called rights and their freedoms and these things like that. I want to have it my way. It's my way. I want to be free. I want to go do these things my way. And if you don't like it, I got my guns, man. We're going to create a new America. This is the new revolution, a new globe. We tired of all this, the way the world was going, you know, trying to get into this here new world order. They're giving you this so-called chance and the opportunity to cry out over these things. But guess what the solution is, man? They're going to come in with that oversweeping tyranny and that dominating power to put your ass back in subjection, man. All right, they give you a little bit of freedom. It's just like fishing, man. You know what I'm saying? You out there fishing, you bait in the fish or whatever. You let him clamp down on the bait and swim off with that bad boy, thinking that he's free and he's running with the bait. You know what I'm saying? Let him go out there a little bit. He pull the line real quick, get it stuck in his jaw. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's a big ass fish, you got to sit there and fight with him. All you do is you reel him in a little bit, let him fight. But you got the rod is locked. So it's not like he can swim out any further. If anything, he can just come in a little closer, and every once in a while you can reel him in a little bit by a little bit. But your best bet is just to sit there and just wait this nigga out, man, because guess what? He gonna keep fighting against it, but he's just gonna tire himself out. Once he tire himself out, you can just take your time and reel this nigga in, man, because he didn't exhausted all his goddamn energy, man. This is exactly what they doing to you people, man. But you don't realize, but hey, this is what it is, man. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that, man. You guys get the point. All right, Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us his truth never will. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Till next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.